Welcome to this short topic video on script elements. This is going to be short. The purpose of this one is really to help you understand some gotchas that come up. So you don't actually have to always be using bundlers or things like that for smaller projects, okay? Because for large projects, the bundlers will take care of this stuff. If you don't know what a bundler is, don't worry yet. You'll get used to them later in class. The references for this are the script tag, window element, and the onload method. So, script tags, script, JavaScript, any JavaScript you like, you can take and put JavaScript anywhere you like in your HTML. Probably by the time you've heard this, you've already been doing that. Okay. We can have external strips. Okay. We use the same tag for both. Okay. Script tag, contents, closing bracket. Script tag with an external script, script source, external whatever. You can have relative or absolute URLs in here. Script source, empty, and a closing tag. You need both the opening and the closing tag. Certain browsers will do weird stuff, so just use them both. Most editors and linters will help remind you of that. Okay, so an example with an external script. Open it up. Let's take a look. Okay. A simple embedded script example, meta, style, blah, blah, blah. Body, here's some stuff, run some things. It says, here we will run some simple stuff. Below, in this section first, is some stuff added by the script. Oh, hi, this text was automatically generated by the JavaScript. Okay, good, that worked. What are we supposed to do next? Okay. Oh, and look, here's the script tag. Oh, it's running some stuff. Okay, is this anything unusual? Document we get by ID, element by ID. We create a paragraph element. We add stuff to the paragraph element. Then we append it to that first section. Okay. Oh, look here. We've got another one, a function second, name. Ooh, what's this? Oh, if we haven't seen it before, JavaScript, like Python, has a nice easy syntax for default arguments. So here's a function with the default element, argument, name world. Okay, and we're going to do something similar like what we did before. Okay, so let's try these. Okay, we're going to try a function second and function annoy over here. Okay, we're just running them from the script. Second, it's a function. Run it. Oh, it filled in this world down. Filled in this stuff down here. Okay, second. My CS course. Oh, just keeps adding stuff. Cool. What does annoy do? Annoy. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. Ooh, it gives us some annoying. Gives us some toggles on and off some annoying class styling. Okay. Oh yeah, it's just toggling a class that does obnoxious styling. Okay. Straightforward. Okay. We can do this, run these things, run the script, this thing yourself. Great. Okay. We understand how this works. We walk through that, read the slides for review. Let's look at a slightly different example. This is embedded script number 2. Okay. This one's got some, why does it say a bad embedded script example? It looks like the other one. Let's try it. Okay. Wait, wasn't stuff supposed to be added here? What's going on? Oh, we got an error. Uncaught type error. First section is null. First section? First section. First section supposed to be, is there an error in this line? Let's try it. Let's try this. I don't want to copy the whole thing. That's why I'm doing this. Control C. Let's run this over here. That call works. First section should it exists. It works here when I run it. Let's see if the second one broke. Second's working. Let's see if the noise working. Maybe it's a fluke with the browser. Maybe my browser is having an issue. Uncaught type error. Let's go to where it is. Ooh, what a nice, pretty looking debugger. I mean, it took me right to the line in my code. It's saying first section is null. But didn't we just look this up? And it said first section. We were able to get that from the page. It exists. What's going on here? This is actually something that's important because it happens. And it also explains why you might want to do things. Okay? What went wrong? The initial code in the script ran into an error. Okay? Yes, we know that, Professor. We looked at the error message. Okay. What's the difference between this script and the other one? A simple example. Let's take a look. Inspect. Oh, in this case, the script is down here. In the bad example, let's go to our inspector. Where is the script? Oh, the script's at the top. What's going on? Would you believe it's as simple as order matters? The browser processes the HTML document from top to bottom, including, I should have made this big and capitalized and extra bolded, including scripts. That means it won't do the next step until it's finished what it's gone through before. If the script wants to access an HTML element, it needs to wait for the element to be created. What can you do? First of all, to avoid this problem, you can put the script element at the end of your HTML file before the closing body tag. Okay. Doesn't this go against the idea of unobtrusive JavaScript, meaning we don't want our JavaScript to be overly dependent on the code and stuff like that? Okay. Yeah. I mean, sorry, overly dependent on the HTML. Yeah, but sometimes it's the easiest. I do this sometimes with Prism.js to add code highlighting to my otherwise static pages. A better solution, actually there's two solutions. Either set the window onload function to initialize document-dependent variables, or create an event listener function to initialize document-dependent variables and use window add event listener to call that thing. Okay, so these are basically two ways of doing the same thing. Let's see how that works. Okay, so solution. Here, I put all the script right up front in the head even before anything else happens. Okay, external script JS. Okay, before anything happens. Okay, same basic core. Okay, basic same stuff as all the others. But this one worked. Okay, everything worked here. I don't get that error message. Why? Let's go look at this, what I did in the script. Okay, at the top here, I said, wrapped up initial script stuff into a function. Function first. Let first selection, oh, this is all the get.element by ID stuff, where I do all my initialization and my first initial processing and such. Okay, here's my other functions. Okay, so right now I have a bunch of functions. This function, haven't called the function yet. My second function, remember I'm defining the function, haven't called it yet. My function annoy, haven't called it yet. The only line of code that we actually run, is we set the windows.onload function to equal our function first, which does initialization. Okay. Oh, so this just gets ready. What happens with window onload? When your documents finish loading, window onload, the window object, right, which is our tab, calls its onload function, which we set to first, and then it does its job. Okay. As explained here. Okay. What's the alternative? Okay. Notice the first function won't be called until after the body is created. Okay. After the document finishes loading. Okay. Let's see my solution number 3. Okay, where we're going to use an event listener. Professor? Yeah. This looks exactly the same, except I modified this other script and got a thing with the different, used a slightly different title HTML file. It works just fine. Okay. Now, what did we do different? First looks exactly the same. Second's exactly the same. Oh, look at this slightly different call down here. Window, add event listener, load is the event, and first. Oh. Well, Professor, this seems to be a little bit longer than writing just window.onload. Why would you prefer this? Good question. And first, it's a little clearer. And second, okay, multiple JavaScript files can add event listeners. We can have multiple listeners for the same event. When we say add event listener, it doesn't override a previous event listener. It just adds to an array of event listeners, all of who will get called. Oh. Setting the window onload function in a JavaScript file would override that function that could be set in another JavaScript file. So if you wanted to do initialization in a number of JavaScript files and you didn't want them interacting with each other, you definitely can't use window onload. If you're doing this only once, that's fine. This is way back when I was saying, why do we prefer add event listener? It's because it is more general, it is more robust. So even when I do all my, when we do DOM events, I'm always using add event listener as opposed to other ways. If you remember the fact that things happen in order, remember the fact that you have a Windows onload function, or you can listen for a Windows onload event, and that's when you should do initialization that is dependent on things existing in your document. You should be fine. Okay. If you're doing just a little bit of code and you're putting it in an HTML file, put it at the end, close to body. Okay. Great. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.